Jamari up to everyone. Welcome to Angkor Baby. I am your host, and this week I have a new friend that I found out that lives in my hometown. Uh, and her name is Joan. She just moved there like 4 years ago, so I'm really excited. And she has advice from an egg. That's her website, and everything's scrolling on the bottom. So feel free to subscribe. With this Angkor Baby, I try to do my very best to bring my my fellow Khmer folks onto the map with me, and if they're doing something for a better tomorrow, then I invite them onto the show. And so, without further ado, I'm bringing on advice from an April. Joan, welcome to the show.
Hi, cheers to everybody. Hello.
Hello, I'm so excited. Thank you for being on the show this evening.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to talk to you and just talk to everybody out there. Hi, everyone. If family, friends, you were there, hi.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, I looked through your bio and you have a lot of stuff going on. So we'll definitely go into that. So you like me, you're I'm a son, you're a daughter of Cambodian genocide survivors.
Yes.
What was that like the whole upbringing like for you?
Well, at first, thinking back, it was hard, but at the time, all you're thinking about is what you see your parents just trying to put food on your table. They're working all hours of the week, all day. They're just working, and you just go to like school. So it's all about just trying to make money to pay the bills, to eat, and to survive. It was still difficult because we did live in I would say like a better part of the neighborhood. It was really tough. A one bedroom with five people is really difficult. So I would just say it was difficult overall. But with struggle, you learn how to get through it and survive.
Indeed. So were you born there or were you born here?
I was actually born in I was the only American born child in my family, so I was born in St. Petersburg, Florida. And my family moved up to Lowell, Massachusetts, because there were a lot of jobs there.
Ah, indeed. I'm the same like you. I was like the only Cambodian born in America thing. And that's what I call it, like the show Anchor Baby, like kind of like Anchor Baby. So for our parents to be here, it's we're Anchor babies.
Yeah, absolutely.
Indeed, that's where I currently live now, is in Florida, but not in St. Petersburg. I'm like more up north. So
Oh, I have no idea what St. Petersburg is like because I left when I was a baby, but I hope to return and just look at the area and see where my life started, you know? And I was, born in Florida, so my parents named me Joan. I'm the only one with an American name. Um,
ah,
and so my brother and sister, they have more Cambodian names, so I always felt a little left out. But I know like the privilege that comes with being born here and having an American name.
indeed. My I have a sister, like she's an older sister, so she changed it to an American name, and like she when she had her Cambodian name, everyone made fun of her, and then when she switched to an American name, everyone made fun of her, so she was like stuck.
I mean, my mom said if I were to have a Khmer, like my Khmer name is like Jana, but I
Uh-huh,
could never really connect it with it because like it's not part of my like name,
uh-huh.
and I don't have a middle name, so like maybe one day I'll give myself my own Khmer name. But I'm still looking for the right one, but everyone hears Joan is coming and they think I'm someone else.
Indeed, I don't have a middle name either, so that's pretty cool.
Oh, see, that's
So
interesting. A lot of my friends they do have middle names, and I'm just like the one walking around without one.
indeed, if I had a choice to go with a middle name, I'd go with Mo. So it'd be like Monet, like the artist.
Oh, that's so cool.
Indeed. Plus, I love the Three Stooges, so that would work out perfectly.
Oh, my dad and I used to watch that all the time.
Definitely good stuff for sure. So now that you live in Pueblo, Colorado, and that's like where my home base is, and I can't wait to move back. What made you move to Pueblo?
So my husband lives in Colorado, so I made the move. It was a very difficult decision to leave Lowell, which has the second population of Khmer people to move here, but moved here for love and now in Pueblo. And it's funny because Jeremy always says I attract Khmer people somehow. Like I always bump into a Khmer person,
Uh-huh.
and so Kwan's Kitchen, we talked about that earlier, is Khmer owned, and they're related to you, right? So
Yep.
we went there and they had like Cambodian noodles on the board, and I was like, what? They have Cambodian noodles here? I was like, no way. And I kind of thought it might be Khmer because it's like a Chinese restaurant, Asian restaurant, and they sell donuts on
Yep.
the side. So I'm like, that's different. So I went in. I'm like, oh my god, it's Khmer people. I love it.
Indeed. Most definitely. Yeah, we like they're my first cousins, and so it's really cool to to go home and see him and everything like that, and like all that good stuff. So most definitely.
Awesome donuts. Everybody that goes to Pueblo, Colorado, go to Kwan's Kitchen to get donuts.
Indeed, they're so fluffy
They're
and
so fluffy. They're the fluffiest, the biggest donuts I've seen. When I went, I tried to bring some to my family in Lowell, and when we went through TSA, they almost wanted to take my donuts, and I'm like, no, you can't take it. They're too big and fluffy. I'm not gonna give them up. Nope.
and they're super cheap too, which is amazing. It's like
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm so glad they started making donuts again after the pandemic, because I thought that they would stop. They stopped for a little bit, obviously, and now they brought it back. So I'm really excited about that.
most definitely. They're good folks over there for sure. So you work for the sales support company, and you do the technical services. What made you go into that field?
Well, I'm sales support for a company leading in technical services. And I used to be a manager at Chuck E. Cheese, if you can imagine that. It was one of my first jobs, in high school, and I was there for like 10 years. And what kind of made me look for something more 9 to 5 is that my nephew was growing up and he was started to play, baseball and all that stuff. And working at like a restaurant, Chuck E. Cheese entertainment place, they need you there a weekend. So I had to make that sacrifice, leave that job so I can see my nephew play baseball and kind of get that family experience back, instead of working so much. So this opportunity came up, and I love my job. I'm supporting a sales team and engineers, and they do product safety testing and all of that. So I love my job. Great team.
Absolutely, indeed, and definitely better than Chuck E. Cheese for sure. So
Yes, yes.
indeed.
I don't have to get into the suit anymore.
Oh, what'd you do at Chuck E. Cheese?
Well, I started, with cleaning bathrooms and being Chucky. Every hour passing out tickets, and then I became birthday coordinator, and then a manager. So it just went up the ranks there, and it was just the hours was just too long, and I miss my family, I miss my nephews, miss having coffee dates with my friends and stuff. So now with a 9 to 5, I can do my volunteer work after I sign off out of work, and I can help the community as much as I can after.
Awesome. And that's pretty awesome that you do volunteer work and with the Khmer culture and and doing what I'm doing, but like on a more personal level, like being out there and hopefully I'm looking forward to tag teaming with you when I move back to Pueblo. So what made you go into the preserving Khmer culture and making it a better place?
Yeah, a lot of it. Well, I was trying to understand myself. A lot of the times, like, if I'm in a space, I'm either like sometimes like seen as too Khmer or too American, and be, I could never find where I really stood in my life, and so I think just looking back at who I am, where my parents came from, acknowledging their struggles, they went through a genocide, and like I said, when we grew up, it was all about survival, it was all about paying the bills and putting food on the table. So, and when you see your parents, I would witness my mom like having a nightmare at night, and for me, it's like, it was because of the PTSD from the genocide, and I would see my dad. My dad has darker skin and he has tattoos all over his body, and I always tease him. I'm like, "Bah, can I get those tattoos one day, like all over my body, in your honor?" And he's like, "No, you can't get tattoos, the Khmer tattoos and stuff. But maybe one day I'll get his blessing for it." But it's all those curiosities, seeing your parents struggle, work so much, wonder, why can't we have just move out of that one bedroom apartment. The fridge is never working. There's cockroaches everywhere. It's like, why are we here, and why are my parents working so hard? And even as young people, I don't know if you ever did this, but there was like, my parents would get like a bucket of like jewelry stuff, and we would assemble a bracelet. And for every bracelet that we assembled, our family would get 1 cent. It was
Wow.
like, and so it was like all of that. We all contributed, did our best to survive. Like I said, I guess like the theme of the night is survival. And so I wanted to kind of understand my parents more, where they came from, and that led me to going to Sukmai with my dad, um, and meeting my relatives, and it just kind of, it made me happy and sad, obviously meeting your family for the first time, but it made me sad to know that they're over there and I'm over here. What happened? I want to know the truth about our history.
Indeed, and you're one of the rare ones. Like everyone that I've interviewed for Angkor Baby, like they haven't gotten back to Sakmai, and like you and I are like the one in a few that get to go back, and
Oh,
every,
really? Oh,
yep, every time I go there, it's like it's fantastic. But like I haven't gone since 2006 because like after my maternal grandparents passed away, I'm like they're the only reasons why I wanted to go is just to go see them, but they're no longer with me, and so I'm like I'm just gonna just stay here. So
yeah, and those are the things that I feel like I missed out on. I never met my grandparents. My dad, well, he tells me like different stories. He said, like, during working in the field, my grandparents, his father or mother, I could never get a clear story. But he said that one of them would like need to use the restroom at night, and went to go and got shot. Just for doing something like that. And I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's like what memories he remembers. But I've never got to meet my grandparents. So my family unit was always my mom, my dad, my brother and sister. And in this country, in America, I never had like the aunts and uncle experience, grandparents experience. So it's sad. But when I went to Sukmai, and I'm glad you went back. Um, it's a whole different world. I mean, do you wonder like where would we be if we were still in Sukmai, if the genocide never happened?
I wonder all the time. I'm like I don't think that with like everything that happened in my life, I would be alive. Because they when they were the genocide was happening, like they took out everyone that had a college education and the
Mm-hmm.
doctors and just anything like that, and like I would have been gone. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and so I'm glad like my parents escaped when they were teenagers. At I'm sure your parents were escaped at when they were teenagers too, and so it's pretty intense. But so I'm glad that they gave us a better life for sure.
Yeah,
Like
they were.
struggling, growing up, and all that stuff.
Yes, and then as Khmer children, we learn about the struggle. We learn to persevere, you know, and that's an important lesson. But at the same time, I know that we're dealing with tough things as well. Our mental health. That's what I worry about with our community. I want us as a community to heal. I want us to talk. And I don't want our future generations to forget about what happened.
Absolutely, and that's why like I'm glad that you do what you do for the Khmer community, and we need more people like us to like shine the light on Khmer people, and people think I'm like everything but Khmer, so it's
Oh,
like
really?
yeah, like are you Mexican, Black, Thai, Samoan? What are you? So it's like you've never heard of a Cambodian before. This is crazy. Like both my parents are Khmer,
Yeah.
so but everyone thinks I'm mixed or for some reason. So
Does that happen in Florida and Colorado?
all like everywhere.
Everywhere? Okay.
Yeah, and it's like when I go to like Cambodian restaurants, like people get scared because they don't know what I am, and then I speak Khmer to them. They're like, "Oh, okay, you're one of us." So it's like, yeah, I'm one of you guys.
There
But
was have you been heard of donuts and noodles? I'm not sure if they're still around, but they were in Colorado Springs.
I haven't been though.
And I was craving like pho actually, and so Yelp or Google Maps brought me to this place, and it said donuts and noodles, and like I said again, like that donut aspect. I'm like, oh, donuts and noodles is so interesting. So I went in, and boom, they were Khmer, like the only Khmer people, and I ordered their noodles and all their food and stuff, and then Ming just gave me like a free box of donuts.
Wow, that's
Like
pretty
that's
awesome.
the ultimate gesture.
Yep,
That's so sweet. So I love connecting with our people.
Absolutely, I'll have to go there when I go back in like 2 weeks and stuff. So
Yes.
indeed, so you also you organized the Khmer New Year celebration in Lowell, and for like a couple years now. What got you involved with the Khmer New Year celebration there?
So I have to give a lot of love to my Clemente Park Committee in Lowell, and a big thank you to Sam Beth, Bo, if you're listening, and John, and John's dad, who Evan. They like took me under their wing. You know, they were looking for volunteers to keep this event, cultural event going in Lowell. It's a free event at a local park. I don't know, right in Cambodia town in Lowell. And I started learning what they were doing, becoming a volunteer coordinator, and now we bring in hundreds, if not thousands, of people at our event. We pray every year for good weather because it's like the only outside, Khmer New Year event in the area, and so we just people come from all over, to go to Khmer New Year, and you see the youth get involved, you see our elderly. Folks get involved, and people just come and learn about Khmer culture. And don't forget about the food. There's such a and stuff at the concession stand. Like it may look small, like it's a small park, but there's so much. It's filled with so much love when there's Khmer New Year. People dance and everything. There's a whole show.
Indeed, what are your other favorite Khmer foods?
I really like just nothing beats homemade katil.
Yeah,
By your mom. But my blog is about egg rolls and other foods. But I love egg rolls.
indeed.
I love egg rolls, and when my mom used to make it, I knew it was a happy day when my mom made egg rolls. I'm not in
Most
trouble. I'm not in trouble that day.
indeed. Most definitely. Like my top favorites, two are Shingamon and
Mhm.
Beng Chao. Those are like my two
Oh,
favorites.
cow! Oh my god, love it. I just learned
It,
how to make it the right way, so it took me a while.
indeed. As soon as I get back home, like I'm gonna have my mom teach me how to make those too.
Yeah. Do you cook? Do you try to make them?
I do. I try to do like chak nei with chicken.
Mhm.
Like for those that are out there, it's like ginger chicken. But like I don't use like oyster sauce because I don't like oyster sauce. Like because of all of the ingredients in there, so I just put like soy sauce and brown sugar and just call it a day.
Yeah,
So,
hey, bro, that just sounds good. And you just that's the best thing about Khmer food is you tailor it to what you like. You know,
absolutely, indeed. But I always bring the garlic and I bring in the garlic, the ginger in there, and it's
yes,
just good
I love
stuff.
garlic, love ginger. Oh, I like overload on ginger, on garlic.
Indeed, can never go wrong with garlic for sure. But you're part of the literary arts organization out there that promotes multicultural writers, literary artists, and creatives. How did you get involved with the literary arts company?
So I'm one of the co-founders. There's so many people involved in creating this organization. So I give props to everybody. Honestly, it really did start at the Khmer New Year in Lowell when it's just a place where people connect, right? And you meet writers and and just there's someone in Lowell who is bridging the gap between the young and the old, and he had an idea to create this writing organization. And after that talk, we brought in poets, and it really grew. It's a grassroots organization. It's a community organization. Who would have thought to have a writing organization for Khmer people and multicultural communities? So so from there, we just grew the organization. We have a literary arts magazine, an annual literary arts magazine called the Sit House zine, and we do poetry workshops. And one of them is coming up. If anybody wants to join, it's called Have You Eaten Yet? And you can find our information or contact me for information, or go to kalalo.org to learn more.
Awesome. Which is like in the description box below. So definitely click on all those links below and all that good stuff. And that's pretty cool that you found like a bunch of Khmer writers because I'm like a Khmer writer too. So
Yeah, that's why I got excited when I heard about you. I was like, like you're from the Colorado area and you write, you're a journalist, you do so many things. And so I'm like, I'm gonna, you're gonna get another email from me and we're gonna connect on a writing basis. And I hope maybe you could do a workshop and share your experiences with us in the writing community.
I'm totally up for it, 100%.
And
Yep.
it's really important to collab that we pay artists with Khmer and multicultural background. It's really important. Right now, there we have awesome ED executive director Lena Sarun and I'm working as the deputy director, and we're volunteering our time. We're looking for grants. Every day we're connecting and outreach all the time. So we're volunteering, but we feel in our heart, artists from Khmer and multicultural background need to get paid. They need to get paid for their work and expertise.
That's awesome. Like I've been doing stuff for free like my whole life. So I'm like,
Free work. I mean, there's only you get to a point, where
yeah.
you have to pay the bills. Everyone have basic needs, shelter, food. You need to get to places, medicine, healthcare, and stuff. Like we need to support our people with their artwork. And to put a plug in, this is one of the annual Lyric Arts magazine that we work on. If you want this, also you just can contact me and I will work to get it to you. Suggested donation $10 per copy, but we will give it to you because our goal is also to make it accessible to everyone.
Indeed. When I get back home into town, I'll pay you $10 and pick up a
I
copy
appreciate
for
it,
sure.
and I'll give you $10 back for all the stuff that you're doing.
Oh, for
And
sure.
more.
Indeed. And it's pretty cool that the still house is awesome. I remember like you reached out to me and wanting to mail one to me. I'm like, don't worry about it. I'll be back in town
Yeah,
and I'll pick one up for you, from you and all that good stuff. But for
great, and
sure.
then we can meet in person, which will be awesome.
Heck yeah. And I'll introduce you to like my parents and stuff like that. And they have like they always cook at home because they used to be
Uh,
chefs too. So back then they the Tea Palace out in Pueblo West.
yes.
Yep, they were the original owners of that
Oh
place.
wow! See, the connection is crazy because
Yeah.
I don't know if everyone knows. Like, I'm in Pueblo, and I'm meeting a lot of Khmer people who own restaurants. So I walk into an establishment and I'm like, "What? Oh my god! Like, hello, Yimsu Akun."
Yep.
I'm just so excited. I'm originally from Lowell, Massachusetts, so I don't get to see Khmer people a lot, and so I'm always get excited to connect. And once I meet with them, they show so much love, and they give me Khmer food and accept me as their community. So it's really cool.
Heck yeah. It's a small and mighty community for sure. It's not like Long Beach and Lowell, but
Right.
like I've been to Long Beach and I love it. Like a lot of relatives are out there. But I wonder if I have a lot of relatives in Lowell and all that stuff. And I know that Seattle has a great population of Khmer folks. Cause like the past couple guests are from Seattle and I'm like, this is nuts. And two of my guests have been like uh, performed at the Lowell Khmer New Year's
Oh,
celebration.
really?
Yep, like Hell Schlug and Spring Roll Fever. They were
Oh,
all there a couple times, so they brought that up a couple times. So that's pretty
Seattle,
cool.
Washington, they have an amazing Khmer community. I went there for the National Cambodian American Conference. And I was just so happy to see everyone come together and talk about important topics like mental health, and the youth. I saw them want to know more about Khmer culture as well and want to speak it as well. My Khmer is like a broken record. It's like a train wreck. But so I'm trying to learn as well, and teach my husband too. So, and when I have children, I want them to be able to speak as much as they can as well. So
Absolutely,
shout out to the
indeed,
Seattle community there.
indeed. It's pretty cool that we have like they have all these pockets of Khmer folks like all over the U.S. Like Lowell, Long Beach, Seattle, Denver. Like there's like a lot of Khmer folks in those areas. So Minneapolis is the same way, or Minnesota,
Yes.
and good stuff. We're like all over the place. So it's pretty neat. Let's see here. Ed. You have a passion project going on, which is your blog, Advice from an Egg Roll. Tell me everything about Advice from an Egg Roll.
Well, I honestly I should have started this blog like so long ago. Like, I love taking pictures of food. Like, seriously, like we go out to eat and the food, it looks amazing, like Instagram worthy. I want to take a picture of it. I'm that kind of person, and so I just love food in general. It just brings a lot of people together. I'm like usually the one who's hosting, friends get together and what do we eat and stuff. I don't want just like pizza or something. I want like Khmer food, egg rolls, and where do we buy it from? By the way, Lowell, Massachusetts, I love going to Egg Roll Cafe. So if you're in Lowell, go there. Love Simply Khmer, go there. Like I don't have as much time as I used to, so I do like buy a takeout delivery a lot, catering for events. So I'm always looking for good food to buy for groups of people. So reach out to me if you want to feed people my food. And with egg rolls, it's just we egg rolls bring people together. Like what I remember a lot is like my 16th birthday when my mom made this like whole tray of egg rolls for people coming from to my 16th birthday party. It's like that big age, that milestone birthday, and I just love it. It makes me happy. Also, I don't know if your mom let you roll egg rolls or what age your mom let you roll egg rolls, but when your mom starts to let you roll egg rolls, I mean, she's judging you. She's making sure you learn how to roll it the right way, make it nice and tight, fold it the right way, and so now I look back at that and I see that as like a coming of age event. You're getting older, you have a little bit more responsibilities, you're rolling egg rolls. So egg rolls just brought a lot of happiness into my life. And so I just was thinking one day when I was making egg rolls here in Pueblo, because I was missing Lowell, I was missing my family. And I was thinking like, oh, if I was an egg roll, what kind of advice would I give? It's such the simple food product, and it's also very versatile because you can put whatever you want in it. And I was just thinking that, and then my blog was born.
Awesome stuff. Most definitely. Like I tried learning how to do it like because like I started working when I was like 9 years old, when my parents had their very first Chinese restaurant, and so I was the dishwasher, and
Oh,
like my parents tried to teach me how to like roll egg rolls and wrap up, like they did like everything, like appetizers, like like dumplings and wontons, like crab ragoon, like everything by hand. And
wow.
I'm like, this is too much for me, and I'm just gonna stick to washing the dishes. I just can't do this. But I did peel shrimp and stuff while I was out there. So when I was a
Oh,
kid,
peeling shrimp. Do you make shrimp rolls? I love shrimp rolls.
I don't, cause like when you do like those rolls, like spring rolls or whatever, like the skin is just too thin, and I'm scared to break it, with like the like the paper, like
Yeah.
the rice paper and stuff. So like my mom has like a gentle touch, and so she'll make like spring rolls all day and like egg rolls all day. So you totally get along with my mom for sure. So
That'd be awesome. I would love to own a food truck in Pueblo selling egg rolls and like empanadas and just like little snacks that people can just eat. And that's my dream. That's what I'm working on as well. So there's gonna be a lot of good things coming up with advice from an egg roll.
awesome stuff. There's a food truck in Jacksonville that I'm gonna go in like 2 weeks, and they're like a Cambodian owned, and I'm gonna eat like everything that they
Yeah,
have to offer.
take
So
pictures. Always take pictures.
absolutely, indeed. Like I'm thinking about like venturing off into like food too. When I get back into town, because like Pueblo has so much amazing restaurants, and like if you're a foodie, move to Pueblo because they have the best food like everywhere. Like whether it's Mexican or Italian or Chinese, whatever. Like
When I moved here, I was so surprised to hear that about the slopper.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I was like, "What is this?" And I was like, "Open is an open." And for anyone who doesn't know, it's an open-faced burger, and is smothered in Pueblo chili, and it's amazing. It's so good. So I highly
Indeed.
recommend it. Anybody who comes visit me, like you're gonna get to try a slopper. Don't worry.
Absolutely. I wish I could, but like I'm allergic to all those nightshade vegetables, so I can't eat those anymore. Like no more tomatoes or chili peppers, nothing. But when my stomach could handle it, I was like scarfing it all down. I'm like, indeed. So definitely take care of your stomach and your guts.
Yeah.
Eat all the probiotics to take care of the good bacteria.
Did you like did you eat a lot of spicy foods? Is that what
Big
happened?
time.
Oh, okay. I'm
Yeah, growing up.
a spice girl. Like I can't like handle too much. I just want it enough spice for it to taste good, but not too
Indeed.
spicy that it's gonna burn through my system.
Indeed, like I would, like with when my parents had those restaurants, like I would just eat all the spicy food because like they would just feed me, and I'm like, and I wouldn't know better. Like I'd had pot thai here and there, and I would like put like so many jalapenos in my pho,
Oh,
marcatillo, and I'm like, I went too crazy on the food. So
I'm
Now that
gonna
I can't.
bring something up controversial. Okay,
Uh,
are you? Would you vote for? Do you like sriracha or the chili garlic in the jar? Which one do you prefer?
oh man, I don't like the chili oil in the jar is like probably my favorite because like my parents would make it at the restaurant. They would like freshly make it, and so I'd get used to their ingredients. Sriracha is just you could find it anywhere and it's overly
Mhm.
produced, but not my cup of tea. But it depends on like what you put it on.
Right,
Like
right.
yep. So like I would probably go with the one in the jar for sure, not the sriracha. How about yourself?
It depends on my mood, honestly. Sometimes, sriracha is like sweet, a little sweeter, so I'll go with, I like it in my kathiawar and pho and stuff. But like the chili garlic jar or chili oil, I like that too. It just depends. Like chili oil, you put it on the your dim sum and stuff. But the chili garlic, I'll put on anything. So,
Absolutely.
so I'm always
There's
like different from everyone because they like the sriracha more, and I like the chili garlic.
indeed, most definitely. So, you mentioned that being what is it like being an egg rolly? Tell me
Egg roll.
some
Okay.
stories.
So, guys, I'm trying to create an egg rolly culture, and it's inspired by the K-pop fan base. So you have K-pop, you have BTS, you have the Army, or Lady Gaga has her monsters. Well, advice from an egg roll: if you are a lover of egg rolls and you are a fan of the advice from an egg roll blog, you would be an egg rolly. And and so like I run into a lot of things. I run a lot of fun things through my nephew, and I'll test it out with him. It's like, hey, what do you think about this? Or an egg roll fan base, and he's like, oh my god, I mean, you're so crazy, you're so whatever. So it's just something fun, and I hope everyone will decide to become an egg rolly. Make egg rolls, read my blog. I'm also collecting egg roll fan art. So whenever creative way you see egg rolls, submit your fan art and I'll post you on my blog and social media handles, and just have fun with it. It's just a fun thing to be.
Absolutely, indeed. So send all the information you can send to all your egg roll art and all that good stuff is below the description box. So and all the social media handles too. That way you can DM that way too. So most definitely. So there's some swag coming soon from you. So tell me about the swag that you have planned coming up.
Well, I'm hoping to work with one particular artist. I'm just waiting to hear back. But with the swag, I want to make T-shirts. I mean, I love T-shirts, hoodies. Who doesn't, right? So I want to create all those swag with my brand, and any proceeds from the swag will go to help cultural events. I'm hoping to support Lowell Khmer New Year, which is near and dear to my heart, and then there's a multicultural festival in Pueblo coming up, hosted by Matt Fresh Productions. So I want to sell my swag and be able to support cultural activities and things that are important to me. So it'll be fun. It might be a while before I get the right swag brands and colors and all that stuff, but just keep an eye out. You'll see it.
Indeed. If you need any help, like with buttons and tote bags and shirts and hoodies and stuff, my pal Barrett Skull, with he does like Cryptoids. He's the one that prints out all my merch,
Oh,
from
that's so cool.
my festival in Pueblo. So he's like my go-to guy, and he has excellent rates. So I'll
Nice.
definitely come connect you with him. So he's
Is he
good
in
stuff.
Pueblo?
He is.
It's
Yep.
okay, perfect. Because my husband has a electrical company in Colorado, so we're looking for to make swag for him as well. So
Ah, indeed. I'll
both of
definitely hook you up with all the correct information, and all that good stuff for sure. He's a great guy too, and the turnaround time is quick too. So
I
you'll
like
be
that.
happy.
I like results. I like quick turnaround times.
Indeed, most definitely. So, you also have an original poem about egg rolls. Would
Yes,
you like to share that?
sure.
Awesome.
I do like to write once in a while. I'm the kind of person who doesn't write for like 2 years, but I'll wake up in the middle of the night and something will just come up, and I'll grab a pen and paper and just write it down. So this poem is called Egg Roll Love. What does comfort look like to you? Does it have a sound? Can you smell it? Is it something you can taste? One of the best things in the world is a tray full of homemade golden brown egg rolls. Comfort comes in the form of love, wrapped up in a thin blanket of crunchiness. The smell of egg rolls is so distinct. I salivate every time. and I relish in the sizzling sound of egg rolls as they cook in the hot oil. Memories flood my mind when I bite into the perfect egg roll. Ma only makes it when she's happy. Trays and platters of egg rolls are for every occasion: birthdays, holidays, graduations, any days. Do you love egg rolls as much as I do? Perhaps. But I love them to the moon and back, and I love them in every culture, and will always do even until my last breath. Egg rolls equals love. Love equals egg rolls. And I will always share my platter of egg rolls with all of you, my dear friends.
Awesome. Excellent poem. Good job.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And so, talk to me about your future goals that's
I
coming
do
up.
have a lot of dreams. I'm a daydreamer. Um, so with advice from an egg roll, I hope in the future I want to, when we're able to, I want to host in-person workshops on how to make egg rolls and share some techniques with you. I want to create a comic book about egg rolls. Right now, we're kind of coming up with the idea of who could be the perfect sidekick for an egg roll character. So if you have suggestions, guys, let me know. And also, I'd love to host an art gallery based on egg rolls and other comfort foods. Like I love shepherd's pie. Like I love other comfort foods. So I think that would be a really fun and cool event. Obviously, I want to get egg rolls and other comfort food served there as well. But I'm interested to know, like, how does comfort food affect you? So maybe I'll reach out to the local art studios here. Hopefully, work with you and everyone that wants to get involved. And let's get this going, guys. Work with me.
Indeed. Like I could totally picture like the egg will have like a wonton cookie or a fortune cookie be his sidekick
Yeah,
or be that her sidekick. So
they're
it's
gonna
like
they're
yeah,
just gonna do great things together, and I'm so
absolutely.
excited to come up with all the adventures. So it's in process, but it's in my head, and I'm so excited. I want our younger generation to know the different foods that our culture has. So it'll be a lot more. It could be about the num baos that we have, like so
Totally.
much fun stuff. So much fun stuff.
Indeed. And you also plan on having an art gallery based on egg rolls and other comfort foods. There's so
Yeah,
many art galleries in town that would totally dig it. I think that'd be
yeah.
perfect.
Oh,
Yep.
that's well. I will love to do. I've always wanted to do one, and a lot of the things I deal with are a lot of times more serious things. Social justice, and just helping the community get better. And sometimes those topics are just a little bit harder to deal with. So I just coming up with this blog and all the fun activities I plan for the future, it really helps me out and just puts a smile on my face. So I hope it'll put a smile on everyone's faces as well.
Absolutely, indeed. Like, especially like there's so many art galleries along Union Avenue for the first Friday art walk. It'd be perfect.
Yes, yes. Create a egg roll superhero.
Yeah,
We
absolutely,
all the world needs an egg roll superhero right now, guys.
absolutely, and it brings everyone together, so it'd be awesome. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, let's see here. And it's great that you're working with the mental health thing, and because we all need it, and getting involved with Pueblo, and I'm glad you're part of the Pueblo community. We need that, and the Khmer community, and we need that too, and and it's awesome, and I like now that we do like food journalism, just like reach out to like the restaurants in town and say, hey, I'm a food blogger or journalist, and they'll give you free food and like tell you what they recommend because like if I can go to concerts for free for 4 years and tell them that I'm a concert journalist, you can do the same. So I think that's their next destination.
Dreams come true. I'll put it on my list.
Absolutely, most definitely. Is there any final words you'd like to give the viewers at home?
Yes, I do. I do talk a lot about in my general volunteer work and stuff about the mental health in our community. Like, I really just want everybody to be okay. And so along with food stories with this blog, I wanted to share motivational stories, life experiences with everybody. And basically, what I would love for you to take away from it is that, you can always be yourself. There's no one like you. There's only one of you. and that you bring uniqueness to the world just by being you. So just keep being yourself, be your beautiful self, and I just hope our community can start healing by sharing stories and doing things like this, talking about it. So
Indeed, I totally agree. Be yourself, and it will all work out in the end, for
yes,
sure. Like I could totally relate to you. Like when you first said, like you don't fit in the Khmer community and you don't fit in the American community, so like you're stuck in the middle somewhere. And
yes,
so like I've always like I felt that because it was this like I felt like that like my whole life too. But then when you be yourself, like the right people will come into your life, and then you don't even have to worry about that anymore. And it's like it's an even playing field. So, and I think it's you found your own your true self with everything that with you do what all you do like from all the Khmer stuff and your blog now. It's everything's gonna be all right.
yes, yes, and as this is just one step to healing is just acknowledging it and talking about it. So yeah, I just want our community to heal, and that we can talk about the genocide, and we can talk about other things, and that the artists in our community and writers in the community, that they will succeed in their passion and their arts and crafts. So I'm rooting for everyone. Let's be
Absolutely.
healthy, let's succeed. Do what you love.
Absolutely. So reach out to Joan. All her information is on scrolling on the bottom there, and beneath this video on YouTube. So all her links are there, contact info, and all that good stuff. So thank you for joining me on Angkor Baby this week, Joan, and you're awesome. And can't wait to connect with you back home in Pueblo, and
Yeah.
then we'll see what we can do with the Pueblo community and the Khmer community there while we're at it.
Will do. Thank you, Sareth, and thank you everybody for watching.
Awesome. Thank you, and and I'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye. Awesome. Sweet.